With the spot healing brush tool, Photoshop samples the area for you. For quick spot removal, it really can't be beat. It heals the skin by picking up the surrounding unblemished texture.
Hello, creative! It's your graphics girl of graphicsgirl.com. That's graphics with PH and S, girl with no I and 3 R's. And I'm here with a quick tip to help you design your brand.
Use the spot healing brush tool to quickly remove pimples, age spots, wrinkles, moles, sores, cuts, blisters, or even freckles to give a blemish-free appearance to the skin. Hey, if you want to follow along and download this extremely large and high-resolution stock image from iStock for free, I'll leave a link below, or you can click the card in the upper right-hand corner. I'll be honest, a lot of people don't like the spot healing brush because it's not as precise as the healing brush tool. With the healing brush tool, you select the area you want to sample to paint over the area that you'd like to replace. But with the spot healing brush tool, Photoshop samples the area for you. For quick spot removal, it really can't be beat. It heals the skin by picking up the surrounding unblemished texture. First step, you'll want to duplicate the layer that you're in. You can show your layers by coming to Window, Layers. You can duplicate the layer by grabbing it and rolling over the new layer icon at the bottom of the Layers panel. Or you can come to the Options or hamburger menu at the top of the Layers panel. Here, I'll call this one appropriately Before. And I'll double click the layer to call this one After. Now, some people don't make a duplicate, but rather make just a brand new layer to keep their spot healing corrections on, and that works just as well. But if you go the route of keeping the spot healing corrections on their own layer, you have to remember to check Sample All Layers from the Options menu that appears when you choose the spot healing brush. And if you don't have Sample All Layers checked, that could be really frustrating, as it's not sampling anything in that layer that you're in because it's empty. It's a brand new layer. Okay, so with a duplicated layer now, you want to make sure you're in that layer that we've now called After. We're going to zoom in. It's imperative to zoom in so that you can see where you're actually selecting. I do a combination of zooming in, touching up, and then zooming back out to make sure I like the change that I've made. Okay, so we're going to start down in this area here. So we're going to select the spot healing brush tool, and we're going to ensure that our mode up here for now is normal, and the type set to content aware. I'll go over the other two options in a second, but one last step to quickly show the magic of this tool, and that is to right-click anywhere. So here you can set the size of your brush, the hardness or fuzziness of that brush, and other parameters. You can always change the brush up here, and you can always reduce the size of your brush by hitting the left bracket or increase it by hitting the right bracket. I find it's easier to do it this way so you can assess the size of your brush in relation to the blemish. So I'm going to increase my hardness to 100% and just leave the size where I have it. So with that, that's all you have to do. You just click down on the spot that you want to remove and voila! It's just that easy. So content aware will do the best job of sampling to remove spots. This one, Create Texture to its right, will replace the area with a texture, and it's not used that much. Proximity Match right here on the end matches the neighboring pixels. So with Proximity Match selected, you can choose a diffusion. Diffusion is a sub-option available under the Proximity Match. And basically, the lower the number, the rougher it looks. So you'll use that with grainy photos and things like that that you want to match. I mentioned keeping the modality at normal, but if there's an edge you want to replace from the drop down, you can choose that. Also, you have options to choose darken or lighten depending on the color of your blemish. I'll do other tutorials on some of these more precise tools like healing brush or the clone stamp tool, but for speed and efficiency, the spot healing brush really can't be beat. It's perfect for pimples, stray hairs, wrinkles, freckles, and beauty marks. But be careful with beauty marks and freckles. You want to retain what's unique about a person and just make them the best version of themselves. One time I had a friend who wasn't a paying client, and I was retouching their photo, and I accidentally got rid of a beauty mark. And she looked at it and she said, "Is this even me?" And that's not really the reaction I was going for. So now I've just be careful that you're not so zoomed in that you can't see the difference between a freckle and a pimple, something that's unique to them and something that's just a temporary situation that they wish weren't there. Don't be afraid to really zoom in and focus in on what it is you're trying to get rid of. It will help the sampling of the neighboring pixels. So for blemishes, you could click down one time to remove them. And for something like a wrinkle, cut, stray hair, and things of that nature, you could click and hold, and it will remove it. So in that scenario, when I got rid of my friend's beauty mark that she wanted to keep, all I had to do was come back to my layers, since I had created a brand new layer, and I could paint it back in, sampling all layers. I just came back to my original layer to pick up that beauty mark again. So again, for most blemishes, you'll just hit it one time. It will do a pretty good job of removing it. Other elements like hairs that you can remove, other elements like this, you'll want to click and hold down to kind of sample its neighboring pixels. Quickly removed it. The spot healing brush is the fastest way to retouch pictures. So in general, skin retouching takes time. But the first part with removing blemishes with the spot healing tool is the fastest way that I know to remove wrinkles, spots, blemishes, really anything, you name it. Just don't go spot healing brush happy and remove freckles or beauty marks and things that make that person unique, so you don't wind up with some plastic version of someone that doesn't even look like the person. So let me know in the comments below if you've ever taken things too far when retouching photos. Remember, if you want to practice and download this extremely large and high-resolution stock image from my favorite stock agency, iStock, for free, there's a link below. Or you can click right up here. I'd love to hear how you make out with the very cool spot healing brush tool in Photoshop. So if you found this video helpful, give it a like, share it with your friends, and please subscribe to my channel. And don't forget, for free marketing, branding, and design resources, head over to grrrl.com. That's graphics with PH and S, grrrl with no I and 3 R's. And I'm here to help you design your brand.